What's going on, y'all? I am a beginner camper. I just started tent camping in November, and I bought this tent off of Amazon. Was it worth it? Let's find out in this video. So before we begin, I'm gonna start by just going over the name of this product. It's actually kind of insane, but most stuff is on Amazon, right? It is the 2-person 4-season tent for backpacking, winter, waterproof, cold weather tent for 2-person, easy setup, lightweight shelter for camping, hiking, backpacking by Underwood Aggregator. Yeah, that's kind of an insane name. Now, the reason I got this tent is because I wanted something to serve me for all 4 seasons, which is why it's a 4-season tent, right? And a lot of the other tents that I looked at, they kind of looked flimsy, not really well built. They didn't really look like they could serve in 4 seasons. And the thing that makes this 4th season is actually kind of strange. And I'll show you guys that once I get to it. So let's get the tent out and set it up. And I also have to add, you guys kind of saw the size of it. It's a pretty small bag. It doesn't take up a whole lot of space. So, all right, so here is a tent laid out. The exact dimensions I'll put on screen because I don't know them off the top of my head. But as you can see, it's pretty long. If you have watched any of my previous videos, you know I fit in here pretty comfortably along with quite a bit of stuff. If you haven't seen my videos, I am 5'10", 5'11" on a good day, and it's pretty big. It fits me, and technically it could fit another person. It is a 2-person tent, but I use it just for myself because space. I will also add that when I bought this tent, it came with the normal kind of like cheap tent stakes. I did upgrade them. I figure it'd be better to upgrade them anyway because everyone knows about those cheap tent stakes. I did a camp out in the yard with my family, and I had those, and it was really windy, and it did not work out well. They didn't stay in the ground. I kept having to go and adjust them. So my advice, get some better ones. I'm sure REI or Bass Pro or Academy is where I got mine. So this is what I got. Okay, so before I finish actually putting the rest of this up, you set up the tent with these little clasps. I'm sure there's other tents that have this. Again, I'm a beginner. So, okay, so this is the tent halfway kitted out. It is a little bit windy, so forgive me if it moves, but you put all the clasps on the side, on the poles, and then you put the hole with the wedge there at the top to keep it up. But I'm gonna go ahead and put the tent stakes in so it's all squared away and doesn't fly away on me. Now, I know someone said it's better to use wood on metal, but I don't have any wood right now, so this is what's gonna have to do. There's your tent kitted out for spring or summer. All right, so let's work on getting the Rainfly on so you guys can see that as well. So a really cool part of this tent is the tent actually has some ties that come right here at the corner of the Rainfly. So you can tie your Rainfly around this pole. That way you have a little bit more resistance if it is a really windy day. But even then, at each corner, you have these little clasps. So you can put this into here, and that gives you a little bit more sturdiness there as well. And then of course, you have all your guy lines are on the rain cover. So you have the spots where you can put more of your stakes, so you can stake it out if it's rainy or snowy, or you want to put something outside. That way you have a little bit more room. You can put it right here. There's also one on this other side. So technically you could do both if you wanted to, but there you go, a little bit more room. So something really cool I just found out about this tent, like literally just found out as I was doing this, is at the bottom of the snow skirt, you have these little hooks here, and underneath you can roll them up, and you can put these here too. So that's really interesting. I didn't even pay attention to that, and I've used this thing probably 5 times at this point. But of course, like most tents, you can roll this up and put it up just like I have this side here. And so for the sake of this video, and I'm gonna get in the tent, so I'm gonna roll these up so they're out of the way. All right, so working our way inside. It is a pretty decent sized opening. It's just big enough, but I mean, I still have to like duck my head in order to get in here. Now, for the sake of the video, I'm gonna get in here, but taking off my shoes, because that's the proper way to do it. All right, so getting in the tent, as you can see, I got plenty of headroom, probably another, I don't know, 8-10 inches or so above my head. So I definitely have enough room to sit up. On each corner of the tent, you have these pockets. So you have a pocket here, a pocket there, and pockets on the other side. And as I said before, this tent is big enough for 2 people. It is a 2-man tent. I have this because I'm a big guy and I like to keep stuff. You know, you just don't know, at least for me. Again, I'm a beginner, so I bring a lot of stuff with me just in cases. And the more I get used to it, the more I'm realizing I really don't need all this stuff because I'm not using it, which I think is probably the best way to go. Do what you need to do to be comfortable first, and then start pulling away to where you know what you need afterwards. Okay, so when I have my mattress pad basically touches right at the edge of the bed because I like a little bit of room above my head, so I'm not touching that. But for me, laying down, as you can see, like I said, my feet are touching down here. That's fine. But my head is not. I have a little bit of room here just so I'm not knocking this all the time. And my mattress fits like perfectly right into this spot. Again, I'm 5'10", 5'11" on a good day. If you're like 6 feet, this may not work for you, so forgive me. But for me, it works. And if let's say I'm over here on the corner or on the side, I have plenty of room. I can touch the side, but because it tapers down, I have plenty of room here, plenty of room behind my head, and at the feet doesn't bother me. And then here, I have plenty of room to put stuff. If there was a second mattress, it would fit. You could have a second person in here. It's a decent little tent with decent room, in my opinion. I think it works pretty well, at least for my use. Is this tent worth it? Well, it's about 70 bucks on Amazon. Gets to you pretty quick. I think it does its job pretty well. I have tested it in the rain. I actually didn't know it was gonna rain the last time I camped most recently. It was very light, but it did rain, and I did have the rain cover on, so seems like it did pretty well. I didn't get wet, and none of my stuff was wet. So I'll say for 70 bucks for a first time tent, I would go for it. I wouldn't go for anything cheaper than 50 bucks just because you just really don't know. And if I'm being honest, with the searching that I did, this was the only tent that I could find that was a 4-season tent. Now, I'm in Texas. It doesn't snow often. When it does, apparently it really snows. I'm not from Texas, but I live in Texas. And I wanted something that, you know, if I am keeping this for the long term, I want it to have some good use. I want it to be able to last me through, you know, almost anything. And I think as of right now, without going through an extreme storm, this does the job. If you guys are on a budget and you see this thing, I think even with some of the small flaws that it has, like there's a lot of strings and stuff that aren't really tight. For the most part though, it's a really good tent and it gets my recommendation for a beginner tent. Well, that's gonna do it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you're interested in camping videos, I have a couple of other camping videos. I have a video inspired by Outdoor Boys. That was my first camping video. And I have another camping video coming out shortly, probably within the next week or so. So if you guys enjoy those, give a like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.